Welcome back to Seen It Before, where we're probably going to say something stupid about your favorite movie because we've seen it all before. I'm Danny.
Or we're going to take two and look at the wrong camera. I mean...
It's been a few weeks,
It's been a few weeks, yeah. This is our Season 6 premiere. Season 6, holy shit.
With a new
set.
studio.
We painted here. We got stickers. We got a new little fancy table here for our pops. We got...
We're upgrading. We're moving up in the world.
And he worked hard on this, and he deserves a lot of credit, him and his dad. And it's
Thank you.
Very, very nice.
Thanks.
Very
yeah.
nice. He didn't want my help at all, and that's probably for the best.
It just didn't work out that way. Like I was like, I'll be at the studio painting, and then you're like, I'm working. But under the carpet here, I suck at painting. So like, there's just so many drops of like little purple like on the floor that we're just gonna cover up.
Yeah, no, I saw them over there. I can see them.
Yeah,
little paint
yeah,
chips.
it's way worse underneath it. So.
Oh, gross. All right. Well, anyway, so this week we're watching Mommy Issues, the movie, as you saw in our little description here, which is why you clicked on this video, or saw it.
That is why you clicked on this video,
or whatever. Yeah. So there were two movies that came out on April 21st this year: Beau is Afraid and Evil Dead Rise. Both of them have mommy issues, big time.
One of them more than others.
One of them more than others, and we're going to talk about them both, but one of them a lot more, and that's Evil Dead Rise, because...
We teased it last season.
We teased it, and it was gory.
Yeah.
Pretty gory.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, we got a little business to take care of. So we're Seen It Before. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok with the handle @SeenItBeforecast. That's SCENE It Beforecast. And on Twitter with the handle SIB_pod. Shut up.
It's been 2 seasons. You still can't get it.
That is the first time I've done that in a long time.
Yep.
Screw you. Anyway, without further ado, let's get to it.
Have you ejaculated today? If so, you're not Beau. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
that rhymes
that's not
a bunch of times.
That's not this movie. That is Beau is Afraid. Again, and who is calling me? I'm going to hang up on them.
It's probably Mike.
No, it's not. It was someone from different zip code. I don't know who it was.
Oh, scammer.
Definitely.
Or telemarketer.
Exactly. Beside the point. Yeah, Beau is Afraid had a lot of weird shit. So I guess we'll talk about that before we get into Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a good movie or a bad movie. That's
because it kept you interested the whole time.
Yeah, it's like a
Ari
train
did
wreck.
a great job directing.
Yeah.
But, oh my God.
Some of the stuff that happens in this or in that movie, I don't even know how does one think of that?
So
like,
let's start this out.
It's a baby with giant testicles. Like, come on.
So the main point of this movie is like, he can't have sex because when his father had sex with his mother, his balls exploded and he died or had a heart attack or something like that. It was weird. But then he's going to visit his mother for like, a gathering or something, and he's afraid of the outside world. He doesn't like leaving his apartment because in his mind, which is what we see in this movie,
horrible things
happen. Like Birthday Boy Stab Man is the funniest thing that started off this movie. Yeah. Just some naked dude running around stabbing people.
I love how they describe him as like a 30-year-old man who's circumcised.
Yep.
Because he's running around with his dick out.
Wild. And from there it goes to he ends up staying with this crazy family that makes, as Ron put it very eloquently, it makes the daughter from the whale look like a saint.
Yes. Yeah, the daughter in this movie, oh my God. She's... the whole family's fucked up because like they just kidnapped this man who they hit with their truck. And they're like... But they're really polite.
Back to health, but...
Yeah.
They also have nursed another man back to health that basically killed their son in action. That's kind of what I think it is alluded to. Like he killed his whole platoon, including their son, and they just kept him around.
Yeah, I guess it's like anything to remind them of their son.
Fucking weird. Then there's this play sequence that's like 25 to 30 minutes long that the play reminds him of himself, so he inserts himself into this play.
Yeah.
And lots of shit happens. Like it starts off very much like Everything Everywhere All at Once. With like the rock scene. It starts off very nicely and then quickly
like you're walking through the woods and then fucking horrible shit happens to you again.
Oh my God.
You have 3 sons. I wanted to know like the metaphor for like the story.
I don't think there's a metaphor to this movie. I don't want to spoil the third act at all. So like
something in the attic is just what the fuck.
Let's say his dad's a dick. His dad's a dick.
His dad's a dickhead. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll talk more about that in our roundup episode coming up in June. But for now, let's leave Beau is Afraid there, and let's get on to Evil Dead. So
yeah. Evil Dead. So it's directed by Lee Cronin, who did another movie. He's an Irish filmmaker, and he did an Irish horror film called Hole in the Ground. I want to say.
You know more than me.
So it's like indie fame horror, that kind of thing. And then I guess Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell, who obviously made the first Evil Dead
legends.
They saw him and they said, "Oh, how about you direct this?" This new Evil Dead movie. I'm not. Did he write the script too? Like, I'm not sure.
I can look it up. He did write it.
Okay, so it's like I can see him taking. He took a lot of inspiration from the first Evil Dead, right?
All the names of the characters are Evil Dead characters from the franchise.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Obviously, I latched onto the character named Danny. Where's he from? I don't remember. Is there like an evil? Because I've only seen Evil Dead 2 once.
Actors that have previously appeared in the Evil Dead series. So any of the movies.
Oh, actors.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you then they're talking about the guy who plays the blonde-haired guy in the 2013 one.
Probably.
Because I'm pretty sure that actor's name is Danny. I don't know.
It's not important.
Because that's me.
Shut up.
Yeah. So going into this movie, you'll notice it's very much more. It's actually away from the tone of the regular Evil Dead movies.
We started off with a lakeside cabin, so it was like already you got the familiar vibes of the cabin. This time it's summertime, but then this basically this bitch is lying on a bed, she's tweaking, and she starts reading along with this book that the other character is reading. And I'm just like,
it's a really nice creative way to show like, oh, this person is not, it's like, nah. It's like, I'd be out. But dude, like
scalps her.
The scalp rip. Dude. Oh my God. Like,
it was good.
It was rough. Like I saw it in the trailer and I'm like, there's no way that's like, because it looked bad there, but it's worse in the, like it's like,
before that though, like how he does like the camera movement and all that stuff in the Evil Dead movies. They did that with the drone. That was cool. That was a nice little
invention. Because so the thing is about like the cabin, these cabin little scenes like that bookend the movie. I feel like they're just kind of put there just cause it's an Evil Dead movie. It's a trope. So if they're going to like tease that as like the next movie, because we'll get to it later, but there's certain things in this movie that is just kind of point in that direction. Like if this movie does good, they could open up that door. Maybe that's some sort of way to do it. But so if it like, I'm really conflicted with these because it's like it kind of doesn't jive too much for me with the rest of the movie. Mm-hmm. But as a short film, I think this thing works fucking great.
Well, let me tell you something right now. So. Guess the budget of this movie.
I think it's mid-budget, like $80 million. Lower?
Way down.
Like 20?
12.
$12 million for this?
$12 million estimated budget, according to IMDb. And opening weekend, it doubled it.
Yeah.
So it already made its budget back.
That's great.
That's a great sign for the series, too.
Now that you mentioned that, I do kind of see the budget here and there, especially with the amount of characters in the movie.
Yeah.
I loved the title.
That was so cool.
I thought that was
the
so...
reflection in the lake and everything, too.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And then we smash cut to our protagonist. What's her name? I forget.
So our protagonist, her name is... Rats.
So Rats is on the toilet.
Teresa.
Teresa. It sounds close to Rat.
Yeah.
She finds out she's pregnant, right?
Yeah.
So I'm a little confused. It's kind of like she's like, oh shit, fucking up my life.
She wanted to go back to her sister just to like probably talk it out and stuff like that
but it sounded to me like she was just kind of like used to getting abortions or something like that.
Well, no, I don't think it came off that way. I think it came off as she wants to go home and talk to her sister. She's like, what do I do? That kind of thing.
Oh, like do I raise it this time?
Yeah, but then, the earthquake happens while the kids are out getting pizza and the two, the sisters are talking about why the husband left, basically. So,
right. And it's kind of like a step away from. It's trying to be more Hallmarky than the other Evil Dead movies. It's trying to in
a way, yeah.
It's trying to add in kind of like I understand the attempt to kind of flesh out these characters and get something behind them that the other ones didn't really have. Like, honestly, the only one who really did the whole character, like really in-depth character thing, I think was the 2013 version, which I'll gush about that one later because it's my favorite. This one, they try to do like our husband left. Now I'm raising the kids alone. They're gonna kick us out of our apartment. Now the sister's like I'm pregnant,
something like that, to get out of the apartment.
Right.
So the earthquake happens when the kids get back to the garage, and a hole opens up underneath the garage. So I think it's like an underground garage, and you see, and of course, dumb kid wants to go down and explore.
Yep.
Also, before we get to that, dumb kid also has a full-on DJ set.
Yeah,
bruh.
See, the thing is, like, it's like you can definitely see. I feel like this needs like one or two more drafts in the writing room, like because it's like these, like, it's clearly planted. This, Danny's a DJ, so of course that's going to come into like.
He's also like 15.
They backtracked it though. It's just like, okay, we're going to have a vinyl tape or a vinyl record to play the audio recording.
Yeah.
So we need somebody to have a vinyl player. Oh, we'll just make one of the characters really into DJing, which is like, that's one of the better attempts at it.
True.
It's like things seem kind of like perfectly cued for this family to
maybe if they made the kid a little older, like 19, living on his mom's couch or whatever, that kind of thing. I could see that a little more. Mm-hmm. That's okay. But like, they wanted the daughter to be the older one, and that really wouldn't have worked in this instance, I don't think. So
yeah. Then all hell breaks loose.
Let's find out. Let's go back to that basement scene. Or underground scene. So he's all the shit that's in there. What the fuck? Like, there's not just
like a bank
book.
vault, right?
It's a bank vault. There's like all these.
There's like a Jesus
I think the
statue
necklaces hanging from the ceiling. Is that what it was, or were they like
something like that?
Yeah, I
kind of it's a storage thing, I think.
Yeah.
I find it weird that see, the thing is, I really like this movie.
I do too.
But it's just so many things just kind of seem to happen just cause.
This is definitely better attempts at storytelling with horror movies, because it's hard to make horror movies make sense in a way, like most of them, and not be cheesy.
And again, 2013 one did it perfectly because they're trying to. The reason that they're all shacked up in the cabin and staying there is because Mia's going through withdrawal. She's going through recovery, so she needs to stay in one place with her friends surrounding her.
Yeah,
that's
wrong.
A great premise.
It is. I'm not saying you're wrong. The Book of the Dead.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Which it looks very different from the Sam Raimi one and the 2013 one.
It does, because
there's three different books.
Three different books.
Which is like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, there might be, spin-off potential, because this movie definitely made double its budget on the weekend. So it's for sure gonna
$45 million total, I believe, is what it's at right now. So
it's gonna do something else.
I'm glad. I'm very glad about that.
Yeah.
So then. Yeah, he brings that and some vinyls, as you said earlier, up to the apartment. And so he starts, spinning them, all that stuff.
Yep.
I don't know how nobody heard any of that shit when it was playing, because he didn't have headphones on. I don't think he had because I know later on in the movie, the main character, Teresa, she has headphones on. I don't think he had headphones on. I could be wrong, but I don't remember him having headphones on.
I don't think he did.
Because the other two siblings were in the house at that point.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it doesn't matter if they hear it, though. It's like,
I guess not, but like, I wouldn't want them.
Yeah, I don't.
Shit.
Yeah, I thought it was really kind of cool that they, for a second, I thought I heard some people say that he was spinning it like clockwise, like with the speeding it up. Mm-hmm. I thought he was playing it backwards.
He might have been. I don't know for sure.
If it's backwards, I like that way more than going.
Yeah, I was looking up trivia and stuff like that, and I did not find that, but I did find one thing. On the first vinyl he was, spinning and everything, you can hear in the background a Bruce Campbell cameo.
Oh, nice.
He says, "Destroy it. It's called the Book of the Dead for a reason."
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could have been from any of the timelines, too. We don't know. because he definitely went through time and stuff like that. So it could have been from any time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's wild.
So yeah, well that makes me think: is it canon? Is the first Evil Dead trilogy is that canon in this?
All right, I will talk about those 3 timelines now because that's a good.
I mean, now they have 3 timelines if they want to make it work.
That's a good thing because I was looking for this before we were starting the podcast. So the Raimi timeline is obviously all of the movies, all of his movies, the 3 of them. Then it looks like what is that? Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Oh, that's his own. Yeah, that's another timeline.
And all that
because they can't reference the trilogy because of some sort of copyright thing.
Yes. Then there's the Fede Alvarez timeline, which is the first one, and then the 2013 one. That's it. Just those 2. And then
because he said something he wanted to retcon, like because like Ash's car is like Mia sitting on it in the beginning.
Yeah. And then Lee Cronin's timeline is all 3 of the originals, 2013 and this new one.
I'm not really a fan of the kind of campy comedy horror bit. I know that's like where this whole thing happened and began.
Dude, the 3rd one is straight camp.
Yeah, it's just
the 3rd
like
movie is straight camp.
And I didn't like it.
It's amazing. Come on.
I just thought I was. It's entertaining. I don't view it as like
skeletons though.
That's why I like the Fede Alvarez one so much because it plays it completely straight the entire time, and I'm like, it is such a serious subject matter, and I'm like, this is a really good movie.
All right, take it easy.
And this one does. I think they do a good balance between like the camp, but it's mostly like
I agree.
It's heavy. It's heavier on the actual darkness. You know, you get some little bits here and there where like the guy chokes on an eyeball and then
we're getting to that one. Now here's where all hell breaks loose. So everything happened. You see the camera going in and finding someone, and it happens to be, of course, the mother.
Yep.
Mommy issues. So yeah, lots of good terror in this next like sequence where like she's just like cooking and the eggs getting thrown in there and all that stuff, the trailer shot, and Mama's with the maggots now.
Oh dude, I love that line.
Dude, yeah, dude, she's in a boiling bathtub.
Mommy's with the maggots now. She's all like kind of sarcastic about it,
but that's such a fire line. Oh my god.
I mean, whoever this actress is, I really loved her performance.
Her name is Alyssa Sutherland, I believe. Yeah, Alyssa Sutherland.
She fucking went for it, and she nailed it.
She's in Vikings, the show.
Okay, now I might watch Vikings because but yeah, like her playing kind of like don't let it take my kids, and like seems like really like she's out of the game. Like her character as we knew her is just gone. She's long gone by the time the movie starts.
With the other people.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So like watching her just like fucking ham it up, and she's like in the doorway or the hallway scene, but where she's like looking through like the keyhole or what do you want to call it?
Oh yeah. So they lock her out in the hallway basically.
Yeah.
And so the earthquake took out the power to this entire building.
Mm-hmm.
And
so now
all of the residents are like kind of like wondering what the fuck's going on, and they're all out in the hallway and they just get slaughtered.
Yeah,
slaughtered.
That was real funny.
Oh my god, they choked on the eyeball.
Yep,
that was just the right amount of it was a crunch. It was a crunch. What?
The most like what the fuck one was like they dismember a 10-year-old. Like they take off both his arms and throw him against the corner. I'm like, whoa, I didn't know they were doing that. Like shit. Yeah. So, but it makes me think, it's like, what did they convince? Because there's a little girl in this movie who's like no more than like 6. She's like, she's kind of like experiencing everything. I wonder how child labor laws work with like, can she see all like the fake blood and stuff, and like is she allowed to? I don't know exactly how the child labor laws work in that aspect. It might be up to the parents if they're on set with them. Maybe I think it's okay, but they can only work like 8 hours a day, I think, at most. Yeah, so because and they can't work past like a certain hour too. So they had to get all their scenes done in like the daytime too. Which it's weird. All right, take a guess at how much blood they used in this movie, because I have it in gallons on here in this trivia fact. So I know that like I know that like the record for one scene of amount of blood is It Chapter 2, and like something like 120 gallons or something. Yeah, when the blood comes out of the sink and everything. No,
Is it the one the blood comes out of the sink?
It's when Jessica Chastain's in the toilet, like in the booth.
Yes.
Like the toilet stall.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. So that one holds the record, and I might be way wrong with those numbers. It could be like 500. I don't know scale. But
So what are you guessing? 500?
I'm gonna guess like 1,000 gallons or something like that.
It's a good guess.
More? 2,000?
Okay, no. 1,700.
1,700, okay.
gallons. Over 1,700 gallons of blood used in this movie.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of blood, dude. Gallons.
Yeah, I mean, to put it in perspective, this took 1 gallon of paint.
Yeah, it did.
So like,
Yo, bro. Looping it back. Love it.
yeah.
So, oh my God. Anyway, so now she's out in the hallway, and I think at one point she scratches her daughter. So that's how it transfers to her as well.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that. I thought it was something with like the tattoo machine where she like started like with her.
Oh, it was that. It was a tattoo machine. I think maybe her blood was on it or something, and she just like took her eye. That's right. It was near her eye. It was like
yeah, it was just up here. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she gets fucking torched, dude.
Yeah.
Absolutely crispy.
I really, I wanted them to hit a little harder on kind of like the emotional, like this is a family member you're gonna have to like, you know, like
they did, but they could have gone a little more. I
didn't like get it, you know, like I wanted to like
you wanted
really
the punch in
feel
the
it.
gut,
yeah,
like the whale.
Oh, dude, the whale, bro. I watched I was scrubbing through because I just got it on Blu-ray and I ripped it and I just kind of like went to that like the last scene on accident. I'm just like, no, Brendan Fraser,
stop it.
Turn it off.
Yeah. So then, so she's crispy. Then she ends up
crispy.
throwing up all over her brother, and
Yeah.
the DJ boy and all that stuff, and he ends up just psychotic.
Yeah.
At some point,
I
and
really sorry to cut you off. I like the pretty much everything visually with this movie. I loved.
dude, the camera work was very well done.
Yeah, it was a great kind of like whoever the cinematographer is deserves a gold star. I love the direction of this, although in some parts, well, kind of most of it, I didn't like the pacing of how he kind of put it. You know, because it'll be like it'll build up. It's like super intense or like super like suspenseful, and then like da 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 and then it'll be like another quiet scene for like 10 minutes.
Okay,
and then it'll go like build up again. I felt kind of like oh, you know, kind of like up and down. So that's my only complaint with that.
The cinematographer is the guy that did Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Good.
And
it's not.
I don't know what he
did.
did on Ash vs. Evil Dead, but it's not saying necessarily.
Well, from what I understand, like that show's got some pretty good cinematography.
Oh no, he
too,
was director of photography. Sweet Tooth as well. He did 4 episodes of that.
Have not seen that.
I have not either.
Season 2's out though, right? It just came out or something.
Yeah, but that's really good.
Oh, I forgot this. The whole point. I was on that tangent. Billie Eilish did a music video a while ago where like she's like bleeding black sludge out of her eyes, and I thought when the daughter in this movie does the same thing, I'm like, I kind of already had an idea of how they would do that, and so it looked seamless in the movie and in the music video.
It's really good.
But they attached small little tubes, kind of going from her like under her hair or under her ears, and then kind of out here, and like down like right until like kind of right where her tear ducts would line up, and then they put it out through there. So that's how I knew they did that one. How they did it through her nose and how they did it through like her mouth.
Probably CG.
Yeah, probably.
It's got to be, man.
But it was so real. It looked.
Some of the CG stuff that they do, like it's what I was watching. One of these YouTube channels, and this guy broke down the Joker and the CGI they used for that, and dude, it looks so seamless. Like they use a lot of CGI in that movie. You wouldn't think so.
Yeah,
they do the mapping of like the whole room and stuff like that, or like the subway platform, and they just add on CG like graffiti and stuff like that and make it look. Yeah. It's all the layering. And it's so well done.
That's why I like a director who uses it tastefully, not as a crutch like
exactly
certain big giant companies. Todd Phillips. David Fincher did a lot in Zodiac, like the San Francisco skyline was mostly CGI because obviously
same thing in the Joker. They took out a lot of the huge buildings in the Joker and kind of just made Gotham look run down and stuff like that. And they made everything tower over him too, so they made the buildings kind of bigger in scale compared to him. So it's really well done.
I like a good CGI scene.
Yeah.
A good one.
Mama here's a cat out in the hallway.
Yeah, that's another. Sorry, real quick. They set up a lot of things to come into play, and I'm thinking like, oh, check. Gonna look for that later. With the scissors under the bed, the breaking, like the baby doll thing breaking, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna get stabbed. Somebody's gonna get stabbed with that.
I love trying to figure out what's gonna come back. It's great.
The garage door. Yeah. What are you saying?
The wood chipper.
The wood chipper.
We'll get to that in just a minute.
Yeah.
So the cat does not die.
It doesn't die?
Confirmed by the director. Cat does not die.
Okay.
So anyway.
Sure sounded like it.
Had to put that out there. So she goes through the ceiling. And this is while Teresa is listening.
She's got the headphones
in, listening to the Book of the Dead vinyl and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can see her coming out. She's out of focus coming out of the ceiling. I love those
super
shots.
good Hereditary vibes.
I think the Boogeyman does that as well coming up. So
so that's what I'm interested. I want to see that one too.
I do too.
It sounds like it's just another generic one.
It's PG-13. It doesn't look PG-13. It looks hard PG-13, at least from the trailer, and I'm excited.
And it's got Yellow Jackets girl, Sophia something.
Yes, Yellow Jackets girl. It's got what's his face? David Dastmalchian or what?
How do you
pronounce his name?
I like him. Good bit guy.
He's great, and the producer of Stranger Things. So yeah, and it's Stephen King. So he really can't get much better.
See, the thing is, you can fuck up Stephen King pretty bad.
You can't.
There's that awesome scene where the mom is. Wait, no. I don't know. Well, there's an awesome
stabbed by the scissors, right?
I think very briefly. So
because she gets stabbed by the scissors and goes like, and then they escape to the hallway. That's what happens, I think.
Yeah. She's just kind of like sitting there for a little bit,
and then because she'll come back, of course.
But also, I wanted to pinpoint that scene where like she's behind the door and she's talking to her daughter, and she's like, like, mommy, like, are you okay? It's like, I'm not feeling well. It's like, but nothing that a nice kiss from you wouldn't fix.
Big smile.
And like, she's like the creepiest looking thing ever. Like,
let mommy in now.
And then she like unlocks it because she's an idiot kid. I'm gonna rip your soul or I'll swallow your soul. So in another hallmark of the Evil Dead movies, you had the I'll swallow your soul, Dead by Dawn. Dead by Dawn. Dead by Dawn. Yeah. So,
Groovy.
Yeah, basically, I wish somebody said that.
I know.
Like
I was so mad.
Like she's like she's checking the pregnancy test. She's just like groovy, like something like that.
That would not have worked.
Yeah, maybe not. So basically, the mom kind of makes them vacate. They go and they say, okay, fuck it. We're going to go to the elevator. Well, they're going to try to go into the room.
Oh, yeah.
And which that was kind of a setup that they just never did, because it's like, oh, you're going to go through that room.
Red herring.
Yeah. I just would have liked to see what's in the room at least.
Yeah. And then Teresa grabs the shotgun and shoots
her like arm and leg off.
Yeah. Shoots the mom's arm and leg off. And then.
And I think she shoots the little kid with no arms in the face too, if I remember right.
And then so they finally get into the elevator. Wow, all the other ones come alive and start digging into the mother, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah. And then it turned into like a
nasty.
the Rat King.
The thing I know best from The Last of Us Part 2. The Rat King was nasty, dude. It's a bunch of zombies all packed together and just gross,
so this is
awesome.
Our big bad. And a lot of people who are kind of like Evil Dead purists, I heard they didn't like this. I guess I'm not that, that uphold it
I think
too well.
Paul liked it, so. And he's a big purist of that.
I didn't see how it broke any rules with what's established. I thought it made perfect sense. So
agreed. They end up falling through the elevator, or the elevator starts filling with blood.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that was gross.
Great Shining reference, you know?
So the elevator is filling with blood, and then it crashes down,
Yeah, it just
and
goes.
we see the classic Shining scene. I was like, that was great.
All exploding
Really well done.
out the
the
thing.
Really, really well done.
Yeah, but then we get like our kind of like, final act.
The garage.
Which like, it's a horror movie. You gotta have it keep kind of rolling on and on. And I get it because it's like the scares. You gotta have the stealth sequence, but it's like,
they're kind of just like getting out.
I'm a little tired of it. Yeah. I see it in every movie. And it's not that like it wasn't directed that bad. It wasn't like acted badly or anything. It was a perfectly good scene. It just,
you want something more original.
I've seen it before. So that's all I'm saying.
I hate you so much. They're sneaking around. The daughter gets caught, of course.
Yep.
The trope right there. While Teresa is escaping out the hatch or whatever. Oh, we never mentioned the clicker doesn't work to get out of the garage. So they found they found
a
little hole in the gate. So
yeah,
it is a rundown place. I guess it's fair.
Yeah.
But then the Rat King is like, join me or something like that. It's disgusting.
And then, so how'd you get the chainsaw? Because
Chainsaw was just laying around, man.
Okay.
Just laying around.
Oh, right. Because like the guys, the Jesus guy is like, hey, I got like some tools in my truck, and then okay. So, I love that. Like, I love that shot. They used it for like the trailer shot. I used it for like it's like a kind of a background known for this movie where she's like with the chainsaw. I'm like, oh, it's so cool because it's a slight twist on obviously the chainsaw hand. You got to have a chainsaw in an Evil Dead movie. That just makes sense. So I like that. Like the kind of like the chainsaw is kind of like the hero affirming moment at this point. Like once you get one, you're good. Yeah. So and then she goes up against the Rat King.
It
turned into a wood chipper.
Ends up in the wood chipper, and I was like, oh,
it was so bloody, like
bloody mess.
Yeah, so obviously, like all like
and the daughter turns it on. It's great.
Yeah,
like, she knows what's up. That's not
so they're being a team. I like that. Mm-hmm. And then like obviously got to have the kind of like a last kind of little conversation talk with the demon. So once she's like basically beaten, she's like she says something about like trying to like guilt her and be like, like, oh, we can be sisters again. She's like, bro, you have no legs.
Did she just kick her head into the wood chipper or something like that?
Well, first she like grinds her face with the chainsaw, like and she just goes all over the place because you got to do that. And then she kicks her face into the chipper. Yeah.
So they get the nice happy ending that they want, but then there's another neighbor on that floor or whatever. Was the neighbor this door was closed? Or was that...
Well, she's on the lower floor.
She's on the lower floor. Okay.
Yeah.
So she was on the lower floor. She goes out to this garage. She sees this whole mess. She's like,
oh my God.
And you see the camera going right at her.
But like there's no shot she slept through all that. Like there's no shot. There's no chance.
No shot. And that is the girl we started the movie on.
Yeah. So it kind of loops back. Like I said, it's a good kind of short film thing. I like it. I don't think it works because it's like it's barely connected to this movie. You know what I mean?
In the series as a whole, yeah.
Yeah. So if they do something with it later in the sequels, because there's gonna be, I think
they easily could just pick off right where this movie started. They probably could. Just like I don't know where they go.
Well, that's another thing.
Or do a crossover.
A lot of these kind of like contained movies. They get really popular. You have like movies like Evil Dead. You have The Thing. You have Alien. Yeah. All these kind of contained movies that start off as something. Aliens followed up and did something a little bigger, which is what I liked. I want to see Evil Dead, the demon, the creature, out in the world, causing havoc. I want it to be kind of like
it ended right there. It's out in the world. There's nobody else around.
Right. But something like Jurassic World was gonna do that, and then they just kind of didn't really follow up with anything good.
World, first of all. Yeah. We don't talk about that.
But you know what I mean? Like I think a genius movie would be The Thing, like just everywhere.
Yeah,
How cool would that be?
You don't know. It's kind of like Secret Invasion with the Skrulls, and like you
Yeah.
don't know who's bad. Oh, that'd be real cool.
Exactly. Yeah, you could
I'm
do a
so
whole
excited.
thing with
So
that.
excited
You know,
for
so
Secret Invasion.
Evil Dead, Evil Dead doing that, like where it's like it's large scale now. I think that would be a benefit, and you could even do a TV show with it. You know, so and plus, it's very clear, evident with this movie, you're running out of ideas to do in a single area with a limited number of characters. You got to kind of mix up the formula.
I got one word: crossover. All 3 books. Bring it back.
Okay.
Yep.
The
Bring back
thing is-
Bruce Campbell.
I don't know.
Oh yes. Maybe not. Maybe in a supporting role, not necessarily a starring role.
The only reason is because Bruce Campbell's Ash is the most campy character.
Let's make him a supporting character.
Right, but the thing,
him- kill
but
him
you
off.
can't make him a supporting character. He's gonna end up being the focus. You know.
Yes, he is. But you got to find either somebody else in the front. Like
I don't think the tones are gonna mesh because Evil Dead 2013 is so dark and so gory.
and it's not really in the Raimi. It's not in Raimi's timeline either. So
No.
It ends at Ash vs. Evil Dead for Raimi. So I guess if he wanted to adapt Cronin's part, he could and make it. I just don't know where it would go.
Like Evil Dead Rise has more potential with that, with working with Ash. 2013 does not.
No.
Yeah.
So we'd have to figure out where that goes. But that's not for us to decide. But it'd be really cool if there is a crossover in the future, and I'm all for it.
There's also another point to this that like Evil Dead has always kind of been an outlier in the like
genre.
popular horror franchises. It's only ever done a movie because it had a story to tell or it wanted to do something more with the property. Like not like Halloween 2018 had a purpose. Kills and Ends, they didn't. They're just kind of like, oh, let's make more money off this. So that's why I'm getting kind of nervous. Like this movie had a story to tell. It did it well enough. I liked it a lot. Doesn't need a sequel. And
No.
Evil Dead has always been the one to be like, if there's even a chance that it doesn't need it, it won't do it. It'll only do it if it needs it.
It doesn't need it, but it obviously has the support of the fans that they want to see it with the money they made from this.
Yeah. But like I want to see more Star Wars movies, but if the creatives behind it don't have any ideas, I don't want to see that Star Wars movie.
These are two completely different things.
It's a franchise. I was not.
I know. But anyway, what are you going to give this movie?
It's a masterclass in cinematography. This is a physically dark movie that I could still fucking see. So, you know,
Not like
Game
of Thrones.
Yeah, it was House of the Dragon. And like people misunderstood what I was trying to say, but I don't want to.
You don't wanna get
I don't
on
even want to
this
get into it.
tangent
But yeah, the masterclass in cinematography, great directing. Aside from like the little pacing issues I mentioned before, script needs a little work. The acting, especially the mom, so good.
She was good. Teresa was good. She wasn't great, but she was good.
Yeah.
The older sister, she was very good.
I liked her. Good new final girl.
The brother, he wasn't bad. The kid was fine too. I think all the actors were good. Like nobody was terrible, I would say.
Yeah, not even the little girl.
Yeah, she was good.
Maybe the Jesus guy, but you know,
Okay, he was
only
2
there for like 2 seconds.
seconds.
Yeah. So
First,
yeah.
like one of the crew members.
I would give this one an 80.
You're generous.
I really liked it.
I like this
I'm
movie
gonna buy
a lot. I did like this movie a lot. But I don't know if I'm going to go back and rewatch it as much as a regular Evil Dead movie. Like 1 and 2, I'll go back and rewatch any day. They're great.
I like the first one.
2013, I also will go back and rewatch. It's very good.
I understand why people don't like it because Evil Dead was founded on the campiness, and I'm not a fan of campy. So, but it's just very much my sensibilities. But
yes, masterclass in cinematography, masterclass in acting by the mom. Oh my God.
I loved her, man. She's great. She's going places.
I hope she gets more roles after this because, damn, I'm gonna get a 77. It's good, but it's not great.
No, I get it. Yeah.
And well, as we said earlier, Beau is Afraid. We will talk about more in our
Beau is Afraid.
in our roundup.
I don't even know how to describe that movie. Is it a movie?
It's a movie in the dude's head.
It's just a 3-hour fever dream, basically.
Exactly. We're Seen It Before. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok with the handle @SeenItBeforecast. That's SCENE, It Beforecast. And on Twitter with the handle SIB_pod. I'm Dan.
I'm Danny. You just kind of like, you're like, and on Twitter, SIB_pod. I'm Dan.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
I'm Danny. You can find me on Instagram, Danny_Was, my letterbox and serialized at DJ Was, or my YouTube channel, which is just Danny Was. Catch us next week for our new season going on with this new awesome set.
Okay, next week, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I'm so excited. Oh my God, you have no idea.
I'm a little worried about you.
Shut up. It is the finale of my favorite IP from Marvel.
Yeah.
And I could not be more excited for this.
Well, how are you feeling about like this is going to be the end of it?
Don't talk to me about that.
Okay. You haven't come to terms with it, obviously. So.
Shut up. I've come to terms with Drax leaving because Dave Bautista wants out.
Yeah.
Zoe Saldana wants out.
I'm fine with that. She's honestly the weakest link in all those movies. I don't get her fame. I don't get it.
She just got lucky.
Yeah.
And Will Poulter, I'm excited to see what he does in this role. I hope he's good because he's also like rumored to be James Gunn's Superman.
Oh.
Honestly, I could see it. Like he's 27. They want a younger Superman, and it's
I'm not
years
sure
away. James Gunn wants his friends and family.
I'm not sure how people are going to feel about a not dark-haired Superman, though.
They're good. No, he's gonna dye his hair. Come on.
He's going to look weird with dark hair.
I don't think he
I
will.
think he's going to look weird.
He had darker hair in I just watched the movie with him in it. He was in it for like 2 seconds. It's not important. Anyway, he was in it for 2 seconds. He had like darker ginger hair. It didn't look terrible.
Still ginger, though.
All right. Anyway, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 next week. I have not come to terms with this ending. And it's you have mentioned before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Join us then. But until then, what's our ending thing?
It's been an honor.
We'll see you next
I
time.
won't say the other
That's
thing
it.
because it makes you mad.
Stay cool.